Greetings, Rigil Agateiades here, and this week on the PC version of Battle Operations 2, we finally have the mobile suit we've all waited for since it's teased back in April. The WING GUNDAM ZERO, which I'm not on. Don't worry, I'll be talking about how busted it is, but as always, I'm more into shooting new Gundams down. So here's my answer for today, the 22-meter tall green pepper, the Kshatriya. That's probably not how it's pronounced, but I'll just keep it simple for myself this video. When talking about this mobile suit, of course we have to talk about the reason why we're on it today, the giant binders. The pepper part of this mobile suit is not just an oversized hitbox, it's a crucial part of its defense. The special skill large utility binders, all staggers to the binders are reduced by a grade. The damage to these binders are also reduced by a whopping 60%, same goes with stagger accumulation. That's pretty close to having 4 gigantic shields covering you, and they can't even be destroyed. These binders are great any time of the year, but this week they're especially important, as we need them to survive the overwhelming damage from the new WING ZERO. With their twin buster rifle, every trigger tool can do 6,000 base damage in total, or up to 13,000 in a death laser that only takes 1.5 seconds to charge. Why do I have to charge for 10 times that on the fast? There are also plenty other annoying things about the WING ZERO. The Zero system, which shouldn't come with just a 35-second cooldown, not only buffs the base stats of the WING ZERO, but also increases side combo lock-on by 250%. And with the WING ZERO's ability to fly and stop suddenly, hitting them down from the sky isn't as consistent of a solution as I hoped it would be, not to mention they're just a gigantic flying bomb. Thankfully, the WING ZERO isn't as broken as the Burning Gundam in God mode. With mediocre defense, it doesn't take overwhelming firepower to finish them, so all we need to do is to negate their first few shots. This is where the Kshatriya stands out, quite literally. Thanks to the binders, the Kshatriya can block the first stagger from the WING ZERO while we get our own shots in. Similar strategies include using side combo barriers such as the Heavy Weapon System New Gundam or the G doors. Block the WING ZERO's first shot and you're way more likely to take them down. Now more about the Kshatriya itself. The binders are simple enough to use, they're always going to be there doing their job. What you have to do yourself, however, is to hit that strong stagger. Of course, to beat 700 cost stuff, you'd want a strong stagger to go through maneuver armor like nobody's business. And good news for you, the Kshatriya got you covered. While the binder mega particle cannons take 3.5 seconds to charge and don't do much damage, all you need to do is to get that strong stagger and your other weapons can do the follow-up. While the strong stagger needs to be fired standing still, not only do your binders keep you safe when doing so, but they also outrange the WING ZERO. Nothing beats knocking them out of the charged laser, they love to use that much. Now the other weapons on the Kshatriya. While they sound simple enough, they're actually rather tricky to use. The main weapon of the Kshatriya is the Kshatriya beam gun, and is the easiest one to manage. Firing from the right arm, it comes with good damage, good range, and an instant stagger. As the only weapon on the Kshatriya with an instant stagger, take care when using it, but overheating it isn't too bad either if you use my custom part setup, which I'll talk about later. Next weapon is the chest mega particle cannon, which is your first choice when going for follow-up damage after the strong stagger. Unfortunately, that's not because of the damage, but because they have no stagger at all. With no instant stagger and only 13% stagger per hit, they're not putting a stop to anyone. Things are a little different when you charge them though. After charging, the mega particle cannons decide they don't want to fire straight. Firing 2 curves of 4, each hit now does 1400 damage, which is detrimental if you get a full hit. However, as you can see, they're extremely slow for a beam weapon, and with a charge time of 4 seconds, you have to guess whether someone will get the stagger for you. also comes with no stagger at all, which is surprisingly a good thing since you can just fire through your teammates on the enemy they just downed. Next on, we have the funnels. The Kshatriya comes with two funnel types, the follow mode and the bombard mode. The follow mode puts out 6 funnels on top of you which can be fired on thrusters. Because of the height they are put at, they can fire over certain cover. And with 8% stagger per hit, overheat them and you can even get a stagger like a spread beam. The bombard on the other hand is more of a setup. After locking on, the funnels simply draw a straight line between you and the target for 2.5 seconds. Very high damage in total, but whether they hit or not mostly depends on the enemy. Because of the weird positioning, even using it on downed enemies are iffy, so mostly you're using it like a tripwire. Freedom Gundam gets Brave going first, which isn't exactly a good thing. One strong stagger combo and that's half the freedom gone. Our position isn't that great either though, and it's time to pray with our binders. While our binders are large, there's actually an equally large gap between each of them, so always deliberately try to point 45 degrees to the enemy. Did manage to get away with resist move and a sliver of health, but no, don't bring that funnel here! One last important thing to talk about, and that's the custom part setup, which involved a lot of auxiliary generators. With the overheat cooldown reduced by 30%, we can now fire the strong stagger every 14 seconds. This basically increases the potential of the Kshatriya by a third, something not even the ranged damage parts can do. And I haven't even counted the possibility of overheating everything for a single big damage combo, which can directly double your damage potential. That was the Kshatriya, the iconic giant green pepper. While the weapons aren't that great, the large binders make it undoubtedly the support type with the greatest ranged defense. And the weapons are still sufficient for 700 cost, with a strong stagger that outranges the Wing Zero and high burst damage potential if you overheat everything. It's not losing to other support types when you understand the bizarre behavior of its weapons. That's it from me today. Really wish it got the funnel setup mode for some real all-range attacks, and the latest.